There is a type of liquid in the world that is considered a pure gift from nature, known as honey. It not only brings a sweet taste, but also serves as an invaluable treasure of nutrition. With an annual production of millions of tons, honey demonstrates its immense value to humanity. Therefore, honeybee farming has been continuously growing and expanding. Now, let's join me on a journey to explore the process of beekeeping and honey harvesting. Beekeepers often select queen bee larvae from the most elite colonies for incubation, ensuring the new generation of bees is capable of efficient honey collection. Within about 10 to 12 days, the queen bee larvae will fully develop and be ready for harvest before hatching. This temporarily keeps the bees busy and makes them less likely to attack the honey harvester. The honey frames are carefully removed to avoid breaking the wax structure or harming the bees. Qualifying frames will be fully filled with honey and covered by a thick layer of wax. Finally, the boxes containing the honey trays are loaded onto trucks and transported to the processing factory for handling and production. The trays filled with golden honey are placed into a specialized spinning drum. The spinning drum rotates at high speed using centrifugal force to extract the honey from the comb. Before entering the bottling stage, the honey is thoroughly inspected by workers to ensure its quality. The filtered honey is stored for 2 to 3 days to achieve the desired thickness, and then streams of golden honey are poured from the storage containers. Each type of bee and its environment produces different types of honey, each with its own unique color. For example, Pohutukawa honey is extracted from the flowers of the Pohutukawa tree. In addition to being used directly in daily meals, honey is also applied in the beauty industry on the market. With its natural moisturizing properties, honey helps soften the skin and retain moisture, leaving the skin smooth and radiant. To conclude today's video, we've had a delightful and sweet journey exploring the world of honey. It is certainly not wrong to say that honey is one of the most precious natural gifts, not only providing a sweet taste, but also containing a series of nutrients beneficial to health. The annual honey production reaches millions of tons, showing its great value to humans. Therefore, the beekeeping industry has been developing strongly to meet the increasing demand. Let's learn in detail about the beekeeping process and the honey-making process. The beekeeping process will take place as follows. First, select the bee breed and build the beehive. Beekeepers choose high-quality bee breeds to ensure the efficiency of honey exploitation. Queen bees are selected from the best bee colonies and are forced to raise in a controlled environment to produce a new generation of healthy and highly productive bees. After being selected, the queen bee larvae will develop for about 10-12 days before hatching. At this time, the beekeeper can harvest the queen bees before they hatch to maintain the management of the bee colony and ensure the stability of the bee nation. Coming to the process of harvesting and processing honey. When it is time to harvest, the honey frames will be removed from the hive with the utmost care to avoid breaking the wax structure or causing damage to the bees. Quality frames will be covered with a thick layer of wax and filled with honey. Despite the numerous advantages, beekeeping and honey gathering are not without their share of risks and dangers, including the following. The most prevalent risk is caused by bee stings, particularly for individuals who are allergic to the venom that bees produce. Accidents that occur while honey harvesting. Beekeepers are required to get into close contact with bee colonies, which might result in assaults if they are not adequately protected. In addition, there are a great deal of effects on the natural world and the ecosystem. The number of bee colonies can be affected by the use of pesticides and climate change, which can result in a decrease in the amount of honey produced. Environment imbalance. Beekeeping can have an impact on the natural environment if it is not managed properly, which can lead to competition between bees that are kept in captivity and those that are found in the wild. At the moment, the most pressing issue is the presence of counterfeit and low-quality honey. There are numerous varieties of honey that are mixed or impure that are available on the market, which has an impact on the health of customers. Despite this, they are nonetheless offered for sale at pricey levels. Make sure you pay attention to this, and remember that you should only make purchases from respectable places, acquaintances, or businesses that have a good reputation. Can say that beekeeping for the purpose of producing honey has been around for thousands of years and continues to expand all over the world, particularly in nations that have weather and plants that are suited for the endeavor. Beekeeping not only has a big impact on the economy, but it also plays an important part in pollination, which contributes to an increase in agricultural output. Honey harvesting can be traced back to ancient Egypt, according to recorded history. Beginning with the collection of honey from wild plants, beekeeping techniques have evolved throughout time to include the management of colonies in wooden hives, which allows for greater control. Since the 1980s, the industry in Vietnam has experienced substantial growth, and it has now developed into an organization that plays a crucial role in the agricultural economy. The success of beekeeping is determined by a number of different elements. Environmental factors, such as climate and the availability of floral resources, are extremely important since bees require a plentiful supply of nectar and pollen sources. In addition, in order to guarantee high levels of productivity, beekeepers need to have knowledge of bee biology, procedures for breeding, and disease control protocols. In addition, the demand for honey and other goods made by bees, such as royal jelly and propolis, is a significant factor in the development of the sector. There are many different approaches to beekeeping. The use of hollow tree trunks or simple wooden boxes, which bees naturally construct their colonies in, is a traditional method of beekeeping. In order to achieve the highest possible honey production, contemporary beekeeping employs a variety of cutting-edge methods, including artificial breeding and seasonal hive migration. The integration of beekeeping with agriculture is another frequent strategy. This involves establishing hives in close proximity to fruit orchards, which is beneficial to both the production of crops and the quality of honey. From an economic standpoint, it offers rural communities a reliable source of revenue. When it comes to the environment, it helps to maintain biodiversity and improves agricultural pollination. In addition, honey and other items made from bees are highly prized for the health benefits and medicinal qualities that they possess. However, beekeeping is fraught with a number of difficulties. Climate change has an impact on the availability of floral habitats and bee habitats. There are a number of diseases that represent a significant risk to bee populations, including parasitic mites and viruses. In addition, the use of pesticides in agriculture in excessive amounts can be harmful to bees and lower the quality of honey. For the beekeeping industry to achieve sustainable growth, it is necessary for it to use cutting-edge technology, encourage the preservation of the environment, and broaden the scope of market opportunities. Beekeeping has the potential to continue to flourish as an important economic and ecological enterprise if these issues are appropriately addressed. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.